It's hard out here.
Yeah.
Especially when we're not equipped with the right information to work with, period.
So it's one of those things, though. Today here on the Russ Meek Speak Show, I have some sharp individuals that are here to help us here in the Chicagoland area to do a number of things. Starting one with your own backyard could be the case that we come out and people could benefit from a number of things that can be done helping yourselves and your communities. So I'll start off by letting these young folks tell us a little bit about themselves and what our direction is going to be. Of course, ladies first.
You first.
Oh.
You're up.
Your name and what we do.
I'm Terry Redmond. This is my husband Lee,
Okay.
and we're part of the Good and Plenty Garden in the Austin community. We're located at 5421 West Monroe in Chicago, and we've been there since I think 2017, 18,
Okay.
and through the years we've been able to receive funding from various organizations such as Chicago Community Trust, United Way, Humana, Austin Garden Collective, and Neighbor Space, and they've all been able to help us with the infrastructure, improving the property, going from 6 beds to now over 20.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for having us here. And our main goal and purpose is to make people more aware of what they're consuming and improving your health. That's basically what we're all about, because with the high amount of ingredients that they're adding to food, processed food, and it's the leading cause of most of our problems and diseases that we're having today. Mm-hmm. So we are here to say that there's another way that we can do this and bring about a more or less take control of your own health is mm-hmm. the main goal.
Okay.
And so that you are aware of what you're consuming, and that in itself will lead to a healthier lifestyle and a more productive life.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So again, you guys are doing something, in my opinion, that's vital to our community right now. In the world of people of color, we have some major issues these days. Mm-hmm. Always the economics, and then looking at the health, which is the biggest factor. And then, of course, trying to explain this to our youth, the kids, to say, hey, this is something that you need to understand. Kind of like opening up a bank account. Let me give you a life account, and it's going to be based on what you consume and how you do it on a regular basis. And that's the world that's going on. But I wanted today for you guys to let us know how you guys got involved with this and what's the actual direction of the next few years and where do you see us going and what do you think is going to be impacting this country?
Well, how we got involved was, like we said, we started with 6 vegetable beds, mm-hmm. and we bumped into some other organizations. One is located in Oak Park called Deep Roots, and they introduced us to what they call regenerative soil.
Okay.
It's all organic material, and we use that soil now in all of our vegetable beds, which we have about 20 or more now.
Is it something you can buy from any place? Or?
No, no. The products that I would say it's way better than what they sell, the organic soils that they sell maybe in the box stores and that.
Okay.
You have to go out into McHenry County to find it, and they deliver. They can deliver in a truck, but the soil, it takes them 6 to 9 months to make.
Okay.
And we've seen a difference by using that soil and the regular soils that maybe the stores sell or whatever. And our vegetables were, for instance, we had one of our vegetable bed participants. She planted her tomatoes in the Chicago soil,
okay.
and then she planted some tomatoes in her vegetable bed with the regenerative soil. Her tomatoes in the regenerative soil grew 3 times faster than the ones in the Chicago directly into the Chicago soil. They were greener, they were lusher, the
fruit
fruit that it produced was bigger, and you could just see the difference between the two.
No comparison here.
There was no comparison.
Yeah.
And then when you do plant your vegetables directly into the soil, and it doesn't matter whether you're in Chicago or in the suburbs, you don't know what's in the soil. Whereas with the regenerative soil that we used, we've seen our plants just bloom. I mean, they're constantly growing fruit. They grow super fast, faster than normal.
Okay.
So
Yes, there's a lot of advantage to this regenerative soil. As a matter of fact, there's a big debate that's going on in terms of the transition from the regular way that the farmer has been tilling the soil and using regenerative soil. And as a matter of fact, I think there's something coming up in a couple months in Congress where people are going to meet and talk about the importance of adding or changing the way that the farmers are actually farming. And because they're saying that because of the way in the past, the way that the farmers have been farming, the nutritional value of the food that they're producing is way less than it has been in the past.
70%.
So actually, when we're thinking that we're eating healthy food, the nutritional value in that food is a lot less.
It's a lot lower.
Yes.
And that deals with the microorganisms that's in soil.
Okay.
And that's very important. Even with our vegetable beds, we don't pull the whole plant out. We cut it at the root and then let the microorganisms during the wintertime feed on that. So that keeps the soil alive.
And that has been the problem with the farming in the past because of the rotation and the tilting. They destroy the microorganism in the soil, so that makes the food less nutritional as it should be.
Okay. Now, are we going to see some legislation coming out where producers have to stamp if their product has been put into certain types of soil for growth?
Now that would be an interesting thing. That would be nice. And I think it would be helpful for people. So then it's kind of like how they put on our fruits and vegetables, where the origin of our fruit and vegetables come from. Some are from Chile, some come from Mexico. You know, it shows where it's coming from.
Right.
So it would be nice if that would happen.
Talking about our legislation and hey, what can you do to make it better for us to consume and eat? Hey, my biggest issue right now is with my daughter. Got a 16-year-old McDonald fiend, and I can only say that my daughter is drugged out on McDonald's. So, look, is there a place I could go to get some help?
Well, that's going to be a tough one there, and because the issue is nutrition. That's the most important thing, and we're just trying to make people more aware of what they are consuming, and especially the parents when it comes to the kids. And that's where it's going to start with the parents. We're not saying that don't go to McDonald's, because I'm sure McDonald's has a lot of healthful food too, but we're saying just be aware of what you and your kids are consuming, because that's going to determine what type of disease or your health period.
That's the issue right now with disease, especially in people of color. We have the diabetes, the high blood pressure, a whole host of other diseases right now that are kind of correlated to consumption. What are you eating? What are you bringing into the body? It's like garbage in, garbage out. Well, yeah, that's happening on a daily basis right now, and people are dying because of this activity.
Absolutely, and not only that, they are predicting that in the future, we think that we have it bad now, diabetes, the things that you're mentioning, they're going to double and sometimes triple, and it's all a result of processed foods that we're consuming. So again, we're trying to make people aware and understand that it's very important that you become more involved in your health. And I'm a typical example. I'm from the old school, and when we think about our health, we say we're going to go to the doctor and they're going to take care of us. They're going to tell us what we need, and we rely on them because that information we don't know, and we put in ourselves at their level, at their hands, and hoping that they lead us in the right way. But see, it's more to it than that. What you can't have someone else to be responsible for your health. You have to be the one. And we have to change our mindset in terms of relying on other people to do what is going to be good for us. We have to step forward and say, I'm going to take the responsibility because this is my body, and I'm going to be more conscientious and aware of what I'm putting into it.
Now, here's a question. For what you guys are doing right now in the yard, or I have land where I could do these types of things, how can I do it? Do I contact you guys to set this up, or what's the process?
Well, yeah, we currently are working with another person in the Austin area. She is just starting a garden.
Okay.
And we were put in touch with her, and we've been helping her as far as planning the vegetable beds,
Absolutely.
how to get the grounds ready. She's just recently had the ground excavated.
Okay.
She was able to contact the water reclamation. They were able to provide soil for her.
Okay.
And it's free from the water reclamation in Chicago. And that's where she is at right now. She's dealing more with infrastructure, so we're kind of guiding her along.
What's typically going to be a cost? If I have, let's say, these multiple backyards here, and I want to set up this system, what should I expect I'll have to pay?
Now, you said your backyard. Now, what's Tara referring to?
I got vacant lots.
Vacant lots.
Yeah, that's what we're referring to.
Yes.
We're helping her with her vacant lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
And so we're helping her with the infrastructure. She owns the lot.
Okay.
And we've been able to help her get some monies through some grants that was able to help pay for some of the infrastructure that she's currently putting in.
Okay.
Security was her first item, and so that she's taking care of that. And I think next year her next item is the layout of the vegetable beds. They'll be above ground. She's not going to go into the ground.
Okay.
She doesn't know how she's going to landscape, but as far as costs, it depends how you want to
design the garden and what you want to incorporate in there. However, now let's be clear: the soil that we helped her to get came from the water reclamation.
Yeah,
but
they have two types.
Yes, and she is a nonprofit. See, there's a difference here, because if you're a nonprofit organization, the soil is free. But I think if you're private, a resident, I think there is a price to it.
Okay.
But our goal is to try to get, Terry can talk about some programs that we got getting started with the backyard beds that we're trying to, through some funds that we got through Humana, that we started this backyard gardening program that we have. And that's a fast way of getting vegetables
Into people's backyards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this going to be at the growing format right now? We have the cost of food that's soaring. And are people looking for alternative ways to say, hey, how can I get this nutrition? Let me go to my backyard.
Well, in our case, last year we started a backyard vegetable bed program. We were funded through Humana. They gave us a generous grant. We were able with that grant to build 22 vegetable beds. They were red cedar, 3 feet by 8 feet long, and 15 inches high, regenerative soil, and it also included delivery and installation into the people's backyards.
Okay.
And we were able, I think one church also has one of our vegetable beds. But the participants, it was free to them because it was funded by Humana.
It was a pilot program.
Okay.
You know, our pilot program, and it was a pretty big success. They went and they bought their own vegetables. We also gave them a packet that explained how to what plants to put in. Do you buy heirloom plants, or do you buy seeds, or do you buy just the regular seeds? There's difference in seeds too. And so we gave them information. We gave them information about good insects versus bad insects, how to take care of your garden without using chemicals to keep the pests out. And because that's what we do in our garden, that's why the USDA gave us a People's Choice Award for our garden, because we're all organic. including any pest control and so forth, and fertilization.
Got it. Now, for listeners or viewers that are looking at this program right now, how do they contact you guys? Do they go to the web and get your data, or they call you? What's the best way?
Probably through the website,
Okay.
and it's Good Plenty Garden, one word, .org.
Okay.
And then we have an email. It's goodplentygarden@gmail.com.
Okay.
That would be the fastest way to get a hold of us to sign up for the garden bed for next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much a way, and you guys are the consultants. Say, look, you guys need some help. We can at least tell you how we think would be the best strategy for you guys to move forward.
Yes. Yeah. We're excited about it, and we're hoping by doing this, it's going to change the way people eat. It's going to change the way they think about their bodies in terms of eating more healthier. And also with a lot of the response that we got from the past, it's a way of getting people back to nature. A lot of cases they said that by going out and tilling the soil, by planting the soil, by watering it, and then harvesting, they're active. They give them something to do. And that's what it's all about, getting people in touch with nature again and on a healthier environment that they're going to be surrounded by.
Yeah, some of our participants from last year in 2024, one of our participants said she thought she was going to do it by herself, and her whole family got involved.
Got it.
In fact, she even got another bed.
Yes.
And another one said she had lost her son, and she was in a deep depression, but because of the garden, it really helped her to come out of the depression, and it helped her mental state. It really helped her mental state by taking care of the vegetables, watching them grow, and she also increased the volume of a vegetable bed in her own garden.
Got it. Now, the question comes to mind, are you guys getting a lot of participation from church organizations that want you guys to assist them with their members?
Not as much as we would like.
Okay. Is that something you can do?
Yeah, not as much as we'd like.
Yeah. But I think that's the part with just about anything.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, participation is one of the things that is greatly needed.
Yeah, from the young to the old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we get tied up in the race of just daily life, but we should always keep in mind that there's more to it, and we have to start scheduling ourselves and set a time aside for stuff that is healthy for us. And it all comes about through just being aware and making sure that you're trying to do the right things for your kids, especially the kids, because that's one of the things too that got us involved on this journey, is that we see how these kids are eating the sugar level, and everything nowadays, no matter what you eat, has a certain amount of sugar in it.
Right.
And this is something that it was not by accident that this is happening. So we have got to be aware of certain things that is going on that is against us in terms of our health, and we're going to have to be more aware of how we can avoid those types of traps. And I use the word traps because that's exactly what it is. Once you get hooked, and especially on sugar, it's hard to get off it. And
You're addicted.
You're addicted.
Right.
It's an addiction, and that addiction leads you down a spiral that you don't want to go.
Down the wrong path.
Absolutely.
Because right now we have a big issue with this entity called corporate America providing all of these types of products, and they're looking for the best way to maximize profitability. So right now, if I can load you up the sugar, get you addicted here, go there, hey, get the kids in line, then hey, move forward. We don't care if you're going to be dying in a few years because of all this intake, but we're going to make money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, when we first started our programs at at Good and Plenty Garden, we did have a program with the kids. We were teaching them about food as medicine, with about vegetables and so forth. And one of the kids had brought up a fact of, well, why are they doing this to us?
Yes.
They said, why, when my husband brought up the fact about sugar, and sugar is in everything, they go, why? Why did they do that to us? And then when they realize where the food is actually coming from, it's not coming from a farmer in Illinois or Indiana or Ohio or Iowa that you think would be coming here. It's coming from other countries. And you don't know how it's being grown. You don't know how they're watering it. You don't know how they're taking care of it. And that's why you see a lot of listeria and E. coli recalls in some of our foods, because there's nobody there to really make sure that the water that they're using is healthy and so forth, or even the soil.
Right. And then all this, the pesticides that they're using and you'd be surprised at the amount of and pesticides that you use on what you consider healthy food, and that you're consuming, and how that affects your body. And the whole thing boils down to this: we have to be more aware of where this food is coming from. And they put these chemicals in these foods in terms of the shelf life, like Terry was saying, it's going to be shipped from one country to the other, so they have to put preservatives in this here, and we're consuming all of this stuff. We have to be more aware of where the food is coming from, where and how's it grown. Just like with the eggs and stuff that we're consuming, you need to be aware of what you're putting in your body. Where did it come from? And that's what makes the backyard project that we're trying to get off and running so important, is that if you go out and raise these vegetables yourself, you know exactly what you're consuming.
Right.
You know how you're watering it. You know what kind of, if you use a pesticide, you know what kind of pesticides. But see, people have to understand that when you get the listeria and the E. coli, people tend to think, oh, I can wash this off of my food, fruit and vegetables. No, you can't. It's in the actual fruit and vegetable. It's not, it doesn't matter how much you peel or anything else, it's in the vegetable. And again, it does come down to knowing where it comes from.
Right.
And by growing your own vegetables in a raised bed with the proper soil, you know exactly what you're consuming. And actually, you're saving money. Some of our participants, most of them said they saved quite a bit, because as a woman, I understand when I go grocery shopping, it can be quite expensive to buy fruits and vegetables for my family.
Okay.
And when you go out into your yard and you're seeing your tomato plant that you started from maybe a little seedling, and it's now 2 or 3 feet, possibly even 4 feet high, and I have 2 or 3 pounds of tomatoes coming in. Now take that 2 or 3 pounds of what I've grown and go into the grocery store and see how much that's going to cost me.
Got it.
And I paid maybe $2 or $3 for my tomato plant.
Are you guys selling to the stores?
No, but that's one of
our goals. Okay. We do have some goals for the future. We're looking in buying, having a greenhouse, not a hoop house, a greenhouse built.
Okay.
A more stabilized building where it can be temperature controlled. And from that greenhouse, we'll be growing vegetables. We want to make it where it's accessible year round, because in Chicago we have 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. And in the winter, you can't grow any of your fresh vegetables.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and you could try in your house, but it's still kind of difficult.
We have the aquaponics, so I don't know if you guys have gotten involved with that area, but
yeah,
another area that I've done a lot of work with different people, and for me, it's a great format. I can do it every day, 365 days out of a year.
Yes.
Do the aquaponics, and I can do a crop in less than 2 to 3 months.
Absolutely.
And get the food from start to finish.
There you go.
But my question is, where's the microorganisms in the hydroponics? Because that's what makes the vegetables and our health better. Because when people consume vegetables from or fruit that's grown in regenerative soil, they're eating something a lot more healthier and with the microorganisms. It sounds scary to some people, but those microorganisms are very essential to our health, both mentally and physically.
Okay.
So hydroponics, I hear, is great and everything, but my question always is, where's the microorganisms in the hydroponics?
Right.
You know,
that's the question that's out there. Big issue right now. We got corporate America, and I see a divide between what you guys are doing and what corporate America wants you to do. Are we going to have to get litigation to say, hey, Congress now wants you guys to be more like the natural garden people, to have consumption of your products in the things you sell to consumers here in the U.S.? Or is this just something that will swing along?
I think that it boils down to the education of, well, let me put it this way. We have farmers out there who are doing, they think they're doing a good job at providing certain vegetables to the world, the United States, I mean, but it's their technique when they are tilting, disturbing the microbiome of the land and destroying them. That what they are destroying is the main substance that is needed for us.
The nutrients.
And that's why I said I think there's going to be a debate coming up in the Congress soon about this very subject. But once they are aware that it is better for them to change the way that they're farming, and then that will increase the microorganism in the soil, which means that they probably going to produce more produce than they did before, and going to help everybody. So it's just a matter of changing some of the things that we're already doing.
Okay.
Yeah, they also was saying there's rumors out there about farming. If you Google the lifespan of what farming is left in, farming soil, some people say it's 60 years, some people say it's 100 years because of our current way that we farm.
Right.
And regenerative soil has been around for a long time. It's been, I don't know how many years, but it's been around for a long time. And some of the farmers kind of laughed at it, but I think now they're starting to realize that this is something that we may have to use, because some people are saying there's 60 years left of farming availability in the United States, or it could be 100. And then some people say, no, we still have several centuries left in the soil and that, but nobody really knows. But to put the nutrients back into the soil, because it's kind of like where farmers, they'll grow potatoes in one patch, and then the next year they'll grow a different type of vegetable, because you can't keep growing the same vegetable in the same soil and then expect the same results.
Yes, gotta rotate the different formats that they use. Question for youth and for education. Are you guys getting some access to students at Chicago Public Schools? Are you guys getting the education to them and say this is what we have to do?
No, and that's one of the areas that we would like to broaden our scope into.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah, and I think that this is a good subject that should be taught in school. And I wish that it was, because I think that the school system to me is failing all of us in terms of what the information that they should be providing to us, and that they're not, and who knows what the reason behind all this is. But I just wish that, but I think that we as parents and the more that we become aware of what is the right course to take, that we're going to have to make this known to other people and spread the word, because we, again, like when I said about the health and the doctors and stuff, we have to change the way that we are thinking. We in the past has been conditioned to think that the school system, the educational system, our system of government, that they're all there to help us. That kind of thinking is going to have to change. We're going to now have to come to the realization that we have got to step forward and do for ourselves. We cannot rely on other people that we think is going to be there for our self-interest. Mm-hmm. It's not the case anymore. It's up to each and every one of us to step up and start doing what we should be doing long time ago.
Got it.
And I think in the school system, to bring in education about proper way of eating would be great. Due to the fact that I remember in high school, they had a program, You Are What You Eat. And here I'm 14, 15, I didn't know what the heck they were talking about. You are what you eat. What do you mean you are what you eat? And it didn't hit me until years later that you act like you had said earlier, you really are what you eat. Mm-hmm. Junk in, your body's going to be unhealthy, your skin's going to look bad, your hair, everything, even your mood and your thinking process. And I think when kids understand that in the morning, instead of giving children a bag of chips and a soda, and a can of soda average can have 39 grams of sugar. That is 9 teaspoons of sugar in that can of soda. Mm. And then you give them a bag of chips, and then you don't know how much sugar and salt is in there. And when they realize actually what they're eating, then they won't eat that anymore. And we found that out through some of the kids that we worked with. They started trying to eat a lot healthier, tell their parents, no, Mom, let's not have any potato chips in the house.
Got it.
No, Mom, let's not have soda in the house.
Yeah. That's the issue, though, with the youth. My question then goes back to the other side, the seniors. Are you guys getting seniors to come in, also participate in what you guys are doing?
Oh, yes, because especially with the backyard garden program, seniors are on board. Mm-hmm. Because we, as seniors, we're all aware of our health, and most of us has some type of health problems. And we know now, as a result of what we've done in the past, that's what contributed to our mm-hmm. disease and the problems that we're having. And I think that it is more important now for seniors, particular seniors, to come out and start communicating and talking about this, because if we want any type of future for our kids, we're the ones who know what is involved in it. We're the one who knows, for example, diabetes, and we know that we've been eating the wrong type of food all our lives, and how we got to this situation. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have to step up and say, it's wrong for what's happening out there. It's wrong that these kids are exposed to all this sugar and the media, mm-hmm. and that we need to step up and say, let's try to change things. Let's try to bring in a healthier lifestyle for the remainder of our lives, because we want these grandkids that we all love and adore. We want to be around longer to enjoy some of this happiness with them.
I got other big issues, but my first one goes back to our penal system. We got millions of people locked up, doing a lot of things, eating food, but would it make any sense to have plant situations or areas where they can actually get out and grow the food and participate?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You'll be surprised, at least I know I'm surprised. To be honest with you, when we started out with this program, I didn't have no idea of the impact that it has on the people that work with us, and even on me. Now, I grew up in the South, a farm, but as I get older, and the connection with the plants and the vegetables and just being outside has on us, and I've changed. I was the type that when you sit down and eat, bring me the burgers, the ribs, just bring it on, and I'll just eat as much as I can.
Okay.
I no longer eat meat. Mm-hmm. I eat fish, but I don't eat meat, because I understand now of what I need to help my body if I want to live a healthy, productive life, what is required. And you have to ask yourself, am I going to put in the amount of work that it's going to take to get there? And I said, yeah, I will, because I enjoy living. So I'm going to do whatever I can to prolong that. And that means that I had to give up all these bad habits. I stopped drinking. And God knows I used to hang with the best of them. But I no longer drink alcohol. Yeah, I never smoke, which is good. But you have to decide, all of us have to decide what is best for us.
Right, and that's the issue. I've tried to acquire a taste for wine. I never liked the taste of that stuff. Like, hey, but I had some clients who say, look, you gotta do at least a good glass of wine.
Yes.
And actually, some studies have shown that wine consumption actually leads to longevity. And in the Europeans, it definitely shows the wine consumption for the folks definitely have them living longer.
Yes. Yeah, there's been study on that. But it's debatable. In my years of drinking, I mostly wanted the hard stuff.
Okay.
And then I kind of did a transition, and I started drinking wine, and I like wine. But I decided, as my blood pressure was getting higher and higher, I said, I got to stop. I just got to let this go. And I just cut it all off for years. Now, on certain occasion, I will have a glass of wine. But in terms of your health, there has been study, there's a chemical in wine itself, the grape. But that has been shown that is helpful in their, what's the word? I can't think of the word now. It's concentrated form of this chemical that actually is the thing that helps to prolong life, they say, to contribute to longevity is the word that they use. But I say, the key thing, everything in moderation, but be aware of the excess, and I think everything is going to be okay.
Yeah, I got some relatives that are living long, passing the 100 mark, and I'm like, okay, that's a good deal. Is this a genetic thing? I can say, hey, I got this gene. Well, it is all related to genetics. But question to you folks, what's the plan for your organization? What's the 5-10-year plan where you're going to take this gardening format out to the public, and how many people do you guys want to get involved?
Our plan, our goal would be to make people, first of all, to be aware. We want people to understand that your health should be the main focus, and that means that you have to be more aware and conscientious about what you're consuming, because what you're consuming is going to affect your body one way or another. So, but after that, we would love to try to get fresh vegetables beds in the backyard of a mini resident that would like to have it. That's what we would like to have, because that way you are sure of what you're eating when it comes to your vegetables. Our goal is just to make
just to keep getting vegetable beds. Especially, our goal is to initially start in the Austin area, because the diabetes, the
high blood pressure,
obesity rate in Austin alone is at 48%.
Okay.
That's like 50% of the people are overweight. And also, with that, we wanted to get more people more involved with the Food is Medicine series, due to the fact that child diabetes is around now. And when we were all kids, it was just old people disease. That's how we thought of diabetes.
Right, it's when you get old.
Yeah, it was just old people got diabetes, not young people. And it's because of the sugar content. And basically, women, by the Food Administration, says that we should only have 6 teaspoons of sugar a day, and men 9 teaspoons of sugar a day. But when a can of soda has 39 grams, which is 9 teaspoons of sugar, how many cans of soda does people drink a day? And then they wonder why they're obese or they have the diabetes.
Okay.
And especially kids, because it's in all of our food, and you have to learn to read the labels and understand. And that's what we're trying to do with the backyard vegetable bed program, to get the fresh vegetables into your garden that you're growing, that you know is being taken care of, and also to come into our Food is Medicine series to learn further about how the food is processed. Why is it 70% of our food is processed nowadays? And to understand which food to actually eat, and to learn to read the labels.
Okay. So you got a big job. Right now we're getting government support to say, hey, look, we want to make America better again. So you got to do this.
That would make America better.
Yeah.
America better should be based on our food and what we're consuming. And people really don't realize the relationship of how food affects us. And again, we'll stress, it affects you mentally, it affects you physically, it affects how you sleep, it affects your health, period.
Now, question, any other countries doing this type of process?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I think other countries, we're mostly concentrated on the United States. That's what we're centered about. But when it comes to processed foods, I think that we are probably the worst. Other countries, I think they're not nearly to where we are in terms of what they're eating, the chemicals and stuff that is added in the food that we're eating here. There's
a lot of them are banned.
I was just
Europe.
about to say, most of the chemicals and stuff that they're putting in the food in the United States are banned in other countries. And here we're eating them like it's party time.
Okay.
And that's what we would like to make people aware. Just be more conscientious about what are you consuming. Because when you think about that, there's a reason why they're pushing all of these advertising on TVs and making them look so luxurious, or you're having a good time. But when you're consuming this food, and as you get older, these chemicals start to work, it's not fun. And one of the main problem in the United States now is health. Health. And these numbers are not improving. They're getting worse.
No, they're even in Chicago.
And they're predicting that it's going to double or triple.
Right. In Chicago, the life let me say, in coronary, in Chicago, it's increased by 4% from last year. Just coronary heart disease. That's just in Chicago, the Chicagoland area.
Right.
The obesity rate in Chicago has kind of stayed the same. It's still for the whole Chicagoland area, it's about 35%. Again, in Austin, it's 48 or 49. And as far as the coronary, like I said, it went up from 68 to 74% in Chicago. And the diabetes rate went up from 11% last year to 13% this year. That says a lot about what we're consuming.
And it's showing that's not the direction we want to continue with. So right now, one path to limit this from happening is to go to the gardening scenario, watching what you eat and being aware of what you consume.
Absolutely.
All right, it's a format where we got to get it done. One, I appreciate you guys coming to tell this story for us. We've gone through a lot of time in a quick amount of minutes. Like, oh gosh. But one thing I wanted to reiterate, how do people contact you guys again?
Well, they can contact us at www.goodplentygarden.org. That's our website. they can email us at goodplentygarden@gmail.com.
Okay. Now, do you guys do classes around the Chicagoland area also?
Well, now we during the summer at our garden we get fundings. We have put on classes there. Tell them about the. Do we have time?
Yeah, we got a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have. We did an exploration art program this year, and we had the youth come in and they explored different types of art techniques such as painting, jewelry making, and so forth. And this was based on nature. So they were making products for nature-themed items. Before we had our Food as Medicine series, we were doing that last year, and we held it at a church in the Austin area. People were very interested in that because we were teaching people about how to read labels, what kind of chemicals to look out for, what oils to cook with, so forth, and how to take some of our vegetables and use them in more traditional series of our meals, like collards and so forth.
Right.
And
is this something that will be done again?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're hoping to, through the greenhouse, that's what we're hoping with. We're hoping to get funding for this greenhouse so that we can hold the classes. Right now, our garden is outdoors. And we'd like to be able to hold classes year-round, and that greenhouse would be able to help us do that, because it would be temperature controlled and so forth. And also, we'd be able to give tours within the greenhouse so that people could see with different types of vegetables. And we're going to grow more traditional vegetables, but we also like to bring in more unusual vegetables that people may not normally be used to seeing within the Chicagoland area.
Okay. So the whole host of options right now. I got a website from you guys to say this is the thousands of things you need to get done, and you'll make your life better. Right now, if you got to worry about this heart disease and all the other things that are in line, take a look at the facts that we've found for you. Yeah, right now, I've got some sharp people here who say, hey, we can make this happen, and trying to get this in every household in America.
Yes.
So next 5-10 years, so you guys can be the multi-billion-dollar organization with plants all over the country.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would make America great.
Absolutely. Make America great again.
I'm telling you, that's the day. Oh, gosh.
Health and eating wise.